Let's bring in Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, thank you for joining us. You're very instrumental this week when you were grilling the heads of social media, Facebook and Twitter. Tell us what the issues. Now, we understand, so our audience knows, Section 230 is some sort of wall, a firewall that these social media companies hide behind so they don't get prosecuted for things that may be deemed irresponsible. What was your point grilling Zuckerberg?
Yes, you know, Section 230 is in the 1996 Telecommunications Act. And what it does is to put this protection up for the social media companies that were just coming online. And the reason it was put in the Communications Decency Act is because we wanted to give these platforms the ability to stand up. And your viewers probably remember when we went from the analog to digital transition. And in Tennessee, all of our record labels were going to pressed CDs. That was really popular. TV stations were beginning to broadcast with some digital programming. Yeah. And that is when the change took place. Well, in order to protect these social media companies and give them the ability to stand up, this provision in Section 230 gave them a liability shield or a safe harbor, so that if something went up that shouldn't have gone up, they would have been protected from lawsuits. This enabled them to get their sea legs, if you will.
Right. Allow me, because I have a limited amount of time. But and so this was in place for good reasons. Now, social media companies got so big, so vast. The question was when they. And it wouldn't even be a question, but when they started censoring, when certain things were okay to publish and when other things were not okay to publish, and I'll use an example, when the New York Post article on Joe Biden's son wasn't published by Facebook and throttled back, or when President Trump's tweets are throttled back on Twitter, those are issues that create this feeling of unfair advantage by social medias over publishers. Am I right?
That is exactly right. Now, these companies have grown so big, they're beginning to act like publishers, and they ought not to be doing that. So what we're saying is you can't have this liability protection, you big companies. We're going to save this for only the new entrants, the small companies. And you cannot censor without telling people why. You know, when you censor Donald Trump 65 times, and you never censor Joe Biden, you never censor the Ayatollah, even though he is shouting death to America on Twitter's platform, there is a problem with this. And what they have done is to start choosing winners and losers and being very subjective in how they go about censoring.
So about a minute and a half left. So tell us, what did you get? Here's my issue, Senator, and it's on both sides of the aisle. It drives me absolutely batty. These things come out, these big hearings, and everyone sees it, and there are sound bites all over the place, and nothing changes. Are we going to get a change to Section 230 this time around?
Yes. My legislation, the Online Freedom and Viewpoint Diversity Act, is being marked up in Judiciary Committee tomorrow. We are also moving forward with a bipartisan privacy bill that will give you the ability to control who sees your data and how they work with your data when you are online. That is moving forward in the Commerce Committee. It has taken 8 years to get to this spot. I've been working on Section 230 reform for 3 years. Now, the good thing is the American people are demanding change.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, let's hope so. And again, the rule was put in place for a good reason. I get it. It's time to start applying and that really is what it comes down to. When you start applying standards on their side, the social media people have to apply a standard as to who gets censored and who doesn't. Obviously, you want to censor some bad stuff, but apply that equally across all demographics. And on the other side, they need to be able to compete, and they need to also be able to be a business. And other businesses have to be able to compete with them. They may be just too big. Senator Blackburn, we always appreciate your time. Thank you for your time.
Good to be with you. Thank you.